how the community wants to fund its essential services, I'll trust the community's judgment on that. Personally, I'm in support of the lodging tax. I voted in favor of it today. I think that there's some subjective questions in there that need to be answered. How, if you're opposed to it and you're opposed to the marketing component, how effective do you think the marketing component is? If you think it's not very effective at all, then that's probably a good reason to support the lodging tax, because clearly we need the revenue, and I think that we're all, or many of us at least, are in agreement that it's appropriate for our visitors to chip in for some of those things. But it's very subjective on what the effect of the marketing portion is. So I can understand that there's two sides to it. My take is that the marketing is not the reason we have a lot of tourists in Jackson, and that it could in fact be a good thing if we did some work on adjusting how it's done. But we need the 40%, and I think the benefits of that are clearly outweigh the costs of, if there are any costs of the marketing. What really limits the number of tourists we have here are beds, and we have a set number of beds at the moment in Teton County. And as far as destination visitors, I think the number of beds is what really drives the number of people who can come here and stay, not the lodging tax. Now, the demand would increase the prices on those beds for sure, but I don't think that getting rid of the marketing is going to decrease the number of people who come to Jackson in the summer. But I think one thing we could do, if we remove the requirement to focus only on the winter and the off seasons, is we could go out and actively look for a less impactful visitor for the summer. We'd still have the same number of people, but perhaps they would have a lower impact because of the way they tend to travel and the mindset they have when they do that, right? I think of, when I think of tourists here, and when I talk to people and they tell me, we've got too many tourists in town, there are too many people here, it's too crowded, what I really see and what they always tend to focus on is the traffic, right? So it's not that another 500 people a day in Jackson, human beings, are going to make a huge difference. It's the number of cars on the road. A lot of that has got nothing to do with the people who come here as a destination. They fly here and maybe they rent a car. A lot of that is really just it's us. We drive a lot, and a lot of it is visitors to the national parks. And if you're not flying here and you're visiting the national parks, you're probably driving, and that is kind of out of our control. But one thing we could do is I think market and brand the community as a place where you come here because you want to try out our amazing pathways. You want to come here and visit in a sustainable way. And I don't know that I think we're moving in that direction a little bit with the Stay Wild campaign. We could do better, but I think it's ultimately up to the electeds to pass that desire on to the TTB that this is what we want to focus on. We want to focus on branding Jackson as a place that you would come to visit in a sustainable way.